I don't even have a joke. I'm not even going to do a joke. Let's just do it. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Where's Carl here on the Monkey Caviar Podcast Network. I am Tiny, your host. With me, as always, Adam Levy. Adam, welcome back. How are you today?
I am fantastic, Mike. How you doing?
I'm good. It's a new season. It's a new day.
It's a new showrunner.
I'm out on the porch drawing pictures of the family. I'm having a good time.
Excellent.
Rick apparently fat with a little belly on him. That's how Judith draws him anyway.
With a grumpy face.
With the grumpy. Well, he is a little grumpy.
Yeah.
So we jump ahead a little bit here. We're a year and a half into the future.
Is that how far we are?
Yeah, it was per Angela Kang as she was on Talking Dead.
Okay.
So, yes, if the showrunner says you're a year and a half ahead, you're a year and a half ahead.
Fair enough. I accept that.
I accept that. For those of you following along, in the break, watch Sons of Anarchy. And I accept that. One of my favorite things now. So there's some birds. There's a lot of birds. And Rick and Michonne, and at least he wasn't putting his pickle in her in the field. But,
that's true.
So I guess the birds have a larger significance in the whole thing, is that the population of birds is growing. That's a comic book thing. The population of the birds is getting out of control, and that's why we opened with birds.
Yes, yeah. I didn't read that. I haven't read that far in the comics, so I stopped right around this time.
Yeah, neither have I. I read, so it's all Talking Dead stuff. That's how I learned things.
Gotcha.
All right, but they hop us around a little bit here in the beginning. We see Daryl's in his school of motorcycle repair business going on the side. They're building like scarecrow walkers.
Well, apparently they didn't. Apparently Daryl was not having none of that. Daryl was not down with the scarecrow.
Daryl is not a fan of House Frey.
No, not at all.
If he was a fan of House Frey, he would have seen the beauty of that Walker scarecrow and stuck with it.
Yeah, although I'm really not sure if that would have been enough to scare away the birds, though. I mean,
that scared me.
True.
There was a lot of Walker close-ups.
Yeah, there were
in tight on a lot of Walkers, and it was just a lot. Let's see, who else did they hit? They hit Jesus going out kicking ass with Aaron,
like you do,
kicking ass. I guess he's got his martial arts training studio on the side.
Well, he's teaching kids at least.
He's teaching kids, the ways of the Force and things like that. Daryl's obviously doing a great job with the motorcycle repair business because his fucking motorcycles run like tops out there.
As long as they have fuel.
Yeah, well, and some of the roads are washing out, the bridges in particular.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Jerry. Nice Jerry sighting early on.
Jerry.
Never mind. It's good to have Jerry back.
Yeah. Yeah, see, that's one thing that doesn't quite get taken care of in the apocalypse is infrastructure.
No, there's no Caltrans.
No, there's no roadworks.
It's DOT out here, but it's Caltrans out there. There's no nobody's doing roadwork. The potholes are going to be potholes, and the stop sign that fell over is no longer a stop.
Yeah, I don't think it was really much of a stop anyways at that point in time, but a bridge collapses, well, then there's not really anybody there to fix it unless you have engineers in your party.
Right, and so I guess that's where we're heading this season. It seems, at least in a little bit of it, we're going to start dealing with infrastructure. It looks like we're going to get a lot of that, actually.
Yeah, I mean the first big scene in this episode, even a lot of the episode itself dealt with the fact of just community building at this point. They're still dealing with the war's over and now it's time to rebuild. And you've got 4 or 5 communities now. You've got Alexandria, the Hilltop, Sanctuary, Oceanside.
Right, that we know of right now.
Yeah, that we know of. So, everyone's got their strengths and weaknesses. I mean, from what they're saying, that like Hilltop is definitely thriving It is the best. Yeah.
Because Maggie's a boss.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot. And the kingdom. The kingdom's the fifth of the colonies, so to speak. But yeah, I mean, and I mean, even like the whole, everything so far seems to be building, just all about building community and just establishing a way of life at this point.
Yeah, and it shows that we've seen some that we'll see a lot more of the growth later. I'm sorry, I was watching the new intro. The new intro.
I like the new intro.
The new intro is pretty good. So
yeah, I like that.
That was all Angela King's doing. She wanted a new intro.
Good for her.
So yeah, cool. It works. So the first bit though is after a little bit of here we are. Is where we go to the museum in Washington, the National History Museum, and we're going to grab some artifacts.
Yeah, I was like when Rick gave them all, he's like, "You all have your list of stuff." I'm like, "What the hell are they shopping for at the museum? I mean, are they going to the gift shop or what?"
No, man. Haven't you heard on the back of the Declaration of Independence is a treasure map?
This is I mean, yeah.
Season 9, National Treasure.
Only if Nick Cage shows up.
Oh, he'd be the best walker ever. He'd be the first talking walker. He would be sublime.
That'd be awesome.
What they did here, I learned on Talking Dead, they shot this inside the State House in Georgia.
Okay.
So they had the State House was going on. The governor was working. And just on the other side of the room, they were killing zombies and shit.
Nice.
Yeah, they said tour groups were going through. And let's say you're on a field trip, you're like a 9-year-old and you're at school and they're like, we're going to State House. And you're like, fucking big whoop. This is the worst field trip ever. And you show up and there's fucking show. And you're like, yes, best field trip ever.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, see a couple zombies. Like, it would have been hilarious if they only saw the zombies and the kids just lost their shit. Thinking like, what the hell's going on here? We're at the State House and there's zombies.
State House has gone crazy.
Yeah.
What was your favorite field trip from school? Do you remember?
God, I don't remember.
My favorite.
We just had a lot of lame ones.
Yeah, we went to the tar pits in the Natural History Museum in LA.
Yeah, I did go to the tar pits. That was fun.
That was pretty dope.
Yeah. We went to a homestead out here nearby where I live. It was one of the last working homesteads. Yeah, that was pretty boring.
Yeah, you gotta come out here. We'll go to a plantation, dude. And it'd trip you out. I'll walk you through downtown Charleston to show you where they used to sell people. Jesus.
That's not unnerving or anything.
It is entirely unnerving.
Jeez.
And worse than all is that they wanted to go back to that.
Oh, good God.
If only we had our way. Whoa, they're frightening people. So anyways, excuse me. They go to the museum and their choices are not great. I disagree with choices. The plow, I understand.
Yeah.
That makes sense. The covered wagon, though, you have a better wagon out front that you were riding to the thing in. Had better wheels, wouldn't get stuck in the mud. It was pulled by one horse. It was perfectly good. And then you went and got some huge, giant, heavy metal contraption that you ended up leaving to the side of the road.
Yeah, I forgot what that was. I didn't even realize what that was for.
Yeah, well, why are we getting a covered wagon? You can build a covered wagon. It's fucking easy. It's a covered wagon.
Yeah. Well, maybe they just wanted it to carry the rest of the shit out.
But they had one already.
But that was loaded up with people when they first got there.
Oh, somebody could walk and you could carry a plow. I mean,
yeah, seriously.
Yeah. But anyway, it is what it is. So I disagreed with the choice, but whatever. So that's what they were going after.
And a canoe. Did nobody realize how to make a boat or anything?
Like, there's not a fucking Big Five around there that you could steal a brand new canoe from.
Yeah.
All right. So
it's not like there. It's not like there's been a lot of water adventures.
It's Georgia.
Yeah.
There's rivers. You don't need it. Whatever. Yeah. Anyway, not mea culpa. It's not mine to say what they should pick up, what they should.
And they also got a lot of seeds.
They got okay. Now that I understand.
Yeah, that
Go
made
after
sense.
the seeds. That makes perfect sense. It does set us up for the some great sight gags in the museum. The first was the spider walker, where all the spiders came out of its face.
Oh yeah,
Great. And then the de-evolution of humankind
yeah. Yeah, that was a nice
was
touch.
hysterical. So I realized that Father Gabriel got himself a new hat. And it took me, I don't know, 5 minutes into it to go, oh, it's Father Gabriel.
You know who we were. You know who it reminded me of with that look.
Huh.
Do you remember the movie Little Nicky with Adam Sandler?
Yes, I do.
He reminded me of Quentin Tarantino's preacher character with like the blind eyes and the hat. I mean, that's the first thing I thought of. I'm like, what, did they cast Tarantino?
See, for some reason, Giancarlo Esposito hit me, and I couldn't get it out of my head. And I'm like, he would just looks like he would wear that hat. I don't know.
Yeah.
It just didn't make any sense. So yeah, so everybody's there at the museum.
And it was nice to see Anne, or Jadis, as we used to know her.
Anne, yeah, Anne. She's got more names than Naomi in the Fear of the Walking Dead, but you don't watch that. You should. Yeah, I don't know why you don't.
I don't know. There's the second season bored the shit out of me.
All right, trust. You got to go back.
It's on demand. I can find it.
I promise. The addition of Garrett Dillahunt and Jenna Elfman to the show made it much more entertaining.
Fair enough.
All right. So yeah, so I understand going after the seeds. It's the other shit that bothers me.
Yeah,
and
I get that.
And they spent a lot of time in this episode at the museum, and good on you. It was action packed and exciting. Ezekiel almost fell to the floor, and everybody, oh my god. But the big thing that they were revealing was that Ezekiel and Carol
are a couple. Yeah.
And
yeah. That was a long setup to reveal that little bit of information.
All right. But we got somebody in the chat who says the bigger wagons for plot device for later. All right, whatever. Still seem like a waste. I mean, they're not doing, it's not westward expansion.
they're playing the Oregon Trail.
Yeah, they're all gonna die of dysentery.
Yeah, so somebody dies of dysentery next episode, and we're all good.
Who else looks new? Maggie's got a nice new look, longer hair. She's looking hot. Carol looks fine, normal. Michonne, so nice to see her again.
Yeah, I know you were looking forward to that.
See, and everybody's kind of happy in this episode because we were like I said, the war is over. There's peace in the land, and we've had an election at Hilltop that didn't go Gregory's way apparently.
And the fact that Gregory would even suggest that, like I've never liked Gregory. Gregory's always been a slippery fuck. But I had to realize like when they said, "Oh yeah, he suggested the election," you knew he was trying to rig that one in his favor. Obviously,
yeah. This is a guy who wants more people to love him than Trump.
Yeah,
I mean seriously, the guy has a complex. If you're so adamant about starting elections after the apocalypse. And this is not a long time.
No.
If we're at 10 years, that would be a long time. Are we at 10 years yet? Judith isn't 10. So,
yeah.
According to this, 6-7 years tops?
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe. You don't need to be doing elections that fast. You're still trying to get communities together. By asking for elections at that point, you're asking to rig the world. You want to set it up from the start that it's yours to run, and I understand that.
And that's kind of been Gregory's point from the beginning, though. I mean, he's the one that he feels that Hilltop was his creation, that it thrived as it did because of him. And basically all he was doing was bending over to keep the saviors out.
Right, and
to be fair, he did keep his people safe, but at what expense?
Right, as a kowtowing coward who just gave in to the saviors at every turn.
Yeah.
So now some of the people at Hilltop are demanding that maybe we shouldn't help the saviors as much. And we'll get to that. I'm still still watching this museum thing. So the floor cracks, Ezekiel falls. So
Ooh, scary.
Let's deal with Ezekiel Carroll. Carikiel is Ezekiel. It doesn't work as good as Carol, because Carol was Carol and Daryl.
Yeah,
Carol. It's Carol. It's still Carol, but it's Carol and Daryl, and
yeah.
that's the ship that we all and Yvette Nicole Brown most wanted. She was on Twitter today defending her relationship for Daryl and Carol, and this Ezekiel thing is just in the way of it. So I love her so much.
She is funny.
She's amazing. And when Hardwick had troubled times, she had her boys back, and I dug that. So
yeah,
she's awesome.
Yeah, no, she's good.
Have you ever been in a room with a glass floor?
I've been on a bridge with a glass, like a glass bridge kind of thing.
That'd be terrifying.
A little bit. I mean, it was big and sturdy. Like it was designed to handle, lots of people walking through. But yeah, I mean, it was see through, and I was a little nervous walking across it. But yeah, I get that.
Were you wearing a harness of any type?
No.
if I'm wearing a harness, I'll fucking do anything.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, no.
It's like every time we watch The Amazing Race, and someone's like, "You have to jump off of this," and they're like, "No, I'm not going to jump." I'm like, "Man, everybody jumps off that. That's what the harness is for. Let me jump." Like they're not going to put me on TV to kill me.
Yeah, it's not like they're asking you to. They're not asking you to free climb a cliff face,
Right. Oh no, they do that too, but.
But yeah, there's still, safety precautions in place.
Right. There's a harness. You're not going to die. There's a lap bar on the roller coaster for a reason.
Exactly.
By the way, if you think the lap bar is keeping you in there, you're fucking wrong.
Yeah, no.
It's not even safe to ride in a limo. I don't even know if that story's on the West Coast.
And I don't know. I don't think I've heard anything.
There is a story out here this weekend where a stretch Yukon Hummer limousine, not a Hummer Yukon, that would be stupid, but a stretch Yukon limousine with 15 passengers in it ran through a light, fell into a ditch, killed everybody. 2 pedestrians. I mean, just fucking
jeez.
Like 20 people.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a huge thing out here on the news.
Damn.
I don't mean to laugh at it like it's funny, because like it's not. But I'm sorry. I'm looking at our chat for a minute. It says I still haven't watched the last episode. Has it gotten any better? It's off to a good start. I'll give it that.
Yeah. I mean, this episode definitely set a lot of things in motion.
Yeah, I think so. My thing shut off. Now I'm really screwed.
I don't even have the chat room open, so I couldn't see. But
yeah, we have 2 people in there.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a big night.
Anybody we know?
I don't know.
Let me see if I can get the chat room open.
All right, you do that while I'm messing with this, and that is just good TV.
So what, your video feed went down?
Yeah. So, I like to follow along, watch the episode while we're talking about it, so it's up here.
Yeah.
I just shut off. But it's popping right back up. We're still in the middle of it, but whatever. So yeah, let's get past the museum if we can, because it's driving me a little crazy. Anyway, I want to finish this Ezekiel Carroll thing. So I keep getting distracted. I'm all for it. I love Carol. I love Ezekiel. So I'm good with them matching up. If you didn't see it coming, you're a fool, because it's been written like big as a billboard for the last season and a half that this was coming down the pipe. So
oh yeah, I mean, yeah, ever since Ezekiel first met Carol, we saw this one coming.
He's a player.
Oh yeah, he's a very charismatic individual.
The guy had a fucking tiger. I mean, that alone, that's Spanish fly right there. if your pet tiger don't drop panties, nothing will.
Seriously.
So, and maybe she's into it for the title. Maybe she wants to be Queen Carol, which would be
That doesn't strike me as something that Carol would be into. I mean, Carol's all about baking cookies and scaring the shit out of kids and,
Right.
stabbing a walker in the face.
Yeah, this is not coming back, by the way.
Uh-oh.
That's all right. Hey, there's other options. Just let me. I'll do that. So yeah, so I'm all about them, and we're gonna see it progress. I don't think we have a choice. Um, are we
No.
gonna see the first post-apocalyptic wedding?
We could. I mean, I don't see why not.
He asked her if she wanted to marry him, and she, did not say no, but did not say yes.
Although it always seems that whenever two people fall in love and in a post-apocalyptic world, that's a sign that one of them, if not both of them, are going to die. Usually violently and horrifically.
Like with their head on a pike?
Something like that, yeah.
I don't want to foreshadow anything, but in the comic...
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, we see Ezekiel's head on a spike.
Yeah.
And that could be coming because it involves who we're going to see later this season, apparently, which is my good buddy Opie from the Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah, when I heard they cast Ryan Hurst, I was happy for that.
I was very happy. I'm like, he's going to be Omega? Okay, I'm cool. And then I was like, well, who the fuck is going to be Alpha? So I had to look it up. I'm okay with the choice. I don't know if you know.
I didn't look, no.
Samantha Morton is going to be Alpha.
Okay.
All right, I'm okay.
I like her.
Yeah, I said that too. I was like, okay, I'm cool with that. What the black guy dies on a pike. Yeah, that's about right. Yeah. Sorry, that's the way it's going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, it's a stereotype for a reason. Yeah.
I would love to see him break that stereotype and see,
seriously,
Jerry at the end of this, the last man standing. But it would only be Jerry. Because my original ending with Judith and Carl and the monkey, because that is gone. Would have been the best.
You need to find an artist next time you go to one of these cons and have them and commission that piece with Carl and Judas and the monkey.
Just as Suzanne to put behind me.
Exactly.
I hope everybody knows what we're talking about.
Trash Lady.
Trash Lady. She's
still around
name now. Her name is Anne. She's doing okay. She's rolling with the group. She even talks in full sentences.
Yeah. You find out she used to be a teacher.
Rosita gets it too. Rosita's not going to get it. She's too popular.
Yeah.
They can't take all the hot girls away from us. All right. I think I got an episode up here that'll work.
Yeah, I thought we were going to lose another of the female characters this episode.
Who were you thinking was going to go?
It looked like Enid was going to get taken out there for a second.
Would you care?
Nah. But killing kids. Well, I mean, I know how you feel about kids in the apocalypse, but
curb stomp them, get them out of there. Yeah. They're a tragedy and they're a burden on your group. You will see no kids in my apocalyptic recovery group. Actually, I decided if there is an apocalypse, I'm going full MC. I'm going 100%. Cuts and rank. That's what I'm doing. I'm doing it right here. I don't care. We'll be the Southern Sons. I don't care. We're running a motorcycle club, and that's what's happening. All
right. Well, I'll join you out there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to look really good on one of those big fat motorcycles because I too am big and fat.
Well, see, I'd probably need like a trike like Piney because I don't know if I could ride a motorcycle.
All right, you can have a Piney. You can have a little, training wheels. It's fine. We'll give you that. Yeah, I'm a natural clay. I mean, thanks to the gray hair.
Yeah, that's true.
Ridges in my forehead, but we're watching Sons of Kristen's like, you should totally go cosplay that guy. And I'm like, well, the show's been over now for like a year and a half, and it's kind of a little late. And she's like, you would totally look good like that. And I'm like, so
Yeah,
I may
I
save
could
it
see
for
that.
may
I
save
could
it
see
for
that. Yeah.
sex night.
And get your cut out, and
I'll get the
put on
cut
the
out. Yeah, and be looking good, looking sharp.
yeah.
God, look at this. I'm trying to get past her. I'm 17 minutes into this episode. I'm still at the fucking museum. Like, I get it. It was nice. It was fun. But god damn, it was a lot of the first episode.
Yeah.
Like, we spent a lot of time away from these. There's a year and a half, and you're going to spend 30 minutes getting something that you're going to leave on the side of a road by the middle of the episode.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand that continuity. And I'm not
I
going
mean,
to blame.
and they were thwarted by a puddle of mud.
Yeah.
And not even the band puddle of mud, just like a real actual puddle of mud.
I'm sorry you don't live here, sir. The mud out here is for real. It's just a thing out here. That I bought. That I was like, oh, I'm totally, yeah, that would get stuck.
No, I agree that, but I'm saying, all of that effort to get thwarted by some mud, it almost seemed like it was a waste.
And then we lost Ken. Poor Ken. We hardly knew you. Oh yeah, because
we didn't know you.
When you kill a red shirt to us, it to us fans, we're like, man, fuck Ken. You don't care. Like we don't. So yeah, bring all the red, and it's first episode, so you're kind of like
you kind of have to kill somebody.
But you also, I love this shot of the National Mall that's like emptier than Trump's inauguration.
Yeah. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I mean the death of Kent did set up another big element in the story for this episode. But
yeah, we got Rhett Butler.
I saw the name in the credits and I fucking didn't recognize her. I was looking for her. I'm like, holy shit. Now I see it.
It took me until she talked. As soon as she opened her mouth, I was like, it's Grace Under Fire. Oh my God.
Yeah, because I recognized the name in the credits and I'm like, Brett Butler. I'm like, no.
I'm like, that's what we added this? Really? Like, Fear the Walking Dead adds Garrett Dillahunt, it adds Jenna Elfman. Like, they're bringing in powerhouses. We couldn't even bring in Walton Goggins. I mean, we couldn't get anybody. We have Rhett Butler.
Well, you ain't getting Walton Goggins, man. He's making that Marvel money now.
Yeah, whatever.
No.
All right. So so on the road, there's a lot of feeling like it's a Western right now. That kind of goes back to how I found the first season. Felt more like a Western.
A little bit.
But in particular with everybody on horseback and a lot of what do I want to say this? Intimate scenes, two people talking. A lot of this episode was two people talking, whether it was Ezekiel and Carol, Ezekiel and Carol on their horses, and he proposes, or
Rick and Michonne,
Rick and Daryl, because we've had a season and a half of Daryl grunting. It was nice to hear him open his mouth.
Yeah.
So we get that, and like I said, yeah. So I think that the intimacy of it and the horses brings out a more Western feel to it.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, I mean, because we only really saw the horses, out of the kingdom, the last couple seasons, but now it seems like everybody's got, a stable going in their community. Not everybody has access to motorcycles or the way to produce fuel like Sanctuary does, at least.
Well, apparently Sanctuary is making fuel, but not very quickly.
No, I mean, they're relying on corn crops to create fuel. So,
because obviously, if their fuel production was busier, there'd be no question about food supply.
Of course, yeah.
You can obviously trade gas for food. That's perfectly good commodity.
Yeah, but it's like what Daryl said. It's like, this is a factory. Like, nothing really grows here.
Right. It's not meant to be a farm. It's not meant to have crops. It's meant to be a pavement and shipping. It's a warehouse.
It kind of reminds me of the old Sam Kinison bit where he's talking about starving kids in Africa. He's like, He's like, you know what this is? Sand.
Sand.
He knows it's gonna be 100 years from now. It's gonna be fucking sand because you live in a fucking desert. Nothing grows here. Nothing will ever grow here.
We have deserts in America. We just don't live in them.
Come where the food is. Grab your family. Grab your shit. We'll throw you in a truck. We'll take you where the food is.
So speaking of that, we were watching Mayans, and Kristen was like, I've been in California, and that's not what California looks like. And I'm like, you were not in a border town.
No.
Like, once you get out in the desert, it gets weird.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But, yeah, and the desert's a weird place.
It is, yeah.
And I like that they're not in Georgia in the show. They're supposed to be in Washington. Virginia.
Or Virginia, yeah.
But, so that kind of takes that Georgia mud thing I had out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, they keep telling you every time that it's Georgia. So fuck, what are you gonna do?
Yeah. Yeah.
So while the caravan is taking the old wagon wheel out for a stroll, I heard a little herd of walkers rolls up on them, and again here, it was all about saving this covered wagon instead of just. I don't know. There was like 9 people out here, and there was like maybe 24 walkers.
Yeah, seriously, they could have easily have dispatched.
We could take this little group out and then deal with moving the thing around.
Yeah,
but no, that's not the way it worked. And because I thought they would use the factory to build a machine shop. Right? I thought they were building bullets there. Exactly, Mike. There you go.
Yeah.
Don't get it. So
I mean, we know that they have smelting capabilities there because Eugene was using it last season to make metal covered walker fences.
Right. So why not just go back and start doing that shit? But nope.
Yeah.
Sorry, we got to go a whole new way. We got to go get a plow and a covered wagon, and then we're going to drop the plow, so that becomes useless.
Yeah.
The plow did show up in Talking Dead's In Memoriam. So that was nice.
Nice.
That was nice. And then here's Ken the Champion going back to save a horse. Look, folks, if you're in a zombie apocalypse situation, don't save animals. I know PETA will tell you it's the right thing to do. It's not. You're worth more than that horse.
Yeah, I agree.
So they gave Ken the old arm chop to try to save him.
I didn't even think they cut the arm off. I thought they were just trying to bandage it up. Then he died before they even got to that.
No, it's a stump.
Oh, okay. I didn't.
Got the whole thing off.
I must have been pretty tired when it got that point.
Oh, but then when he's laying on the ground bleeding out, they take care of that horde of walkers that they could have taken care of before
I know.
all this happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's a story. I get it. It's not real. But my God, some common sense, people. Like, even in the writing room, somebody should have went like, well, wouldn't they just kill all these walkers first? I would.
Angela Kang's like, no, don't kill the walkers.
See, this is what happens. We need Scott Gimbo back.
I don't know. I don't know if I'd go that far.
Yeah, I don't know. He was ruining the show too. Hey, I don't know if there's any saving it. This is we're dealing with the Rick's final season. The famous Rick Grimes is finally leaving us.
Did you hear the article? Like, apparently AMC's got like plans for like the next decade of Walking Dead.
Really?
Yeah, they've got plans for like the next 10 years for Walking Dead to continue.
That's great. That's fine with me.
Yeah,
I love the show. I love both the shows. So
when do they combine the shows?
Well, the end of Fear, Morgan has getting their tribe and coming back to Alexandria.
Okay, so maybe after next season.
It's in process, but they're waylaid with a side project that's going to take them a while.
Gotcha.
But they are moving in this direction.
Okay.
The kid didn't die from a horse kick. He died because he bled out. He just happened to get kicked by the horse as well.
That was pretty funny, though.
Yeah, that kid kicked by a horse always fun. And they did it to a kid, which I love. So then we get to meet Ken's parents, who are none too happy that poor Kenny lost his life out on the road. It unfortunately, Maggie doesn't tell him to shut the fuck up. It was your son's fault for going after a horse when we should have been dealing with a zombie horde.
Yeah.
But no,
She's trying to be diplomatic.
She tries to be diplomatic, trying to take the blame. That's like receiving 2 checks and only want 1 check. The shows will never combine. He said the shows will never combine.
Yeah. I don't. I think they have to at some point.
I think we're gonna get a crossover. So Morgan's gonna return to Alexandria. I think that happens. Whether he stays or whether it's just a quick, a visit, a war, and we get out. But yeah, I think at some point Morgan shows back up on The Walking Dead with a group with him.
Yeah.
That's just the way it's going. I mean, I'm not okay with that. Like I said, there's so many things you can do in this world.
Yeah, of course.
So you can, like I said, by doing Fear, they started in LA and now they've got them all the way to Mississippi.
Okay.
All right. So that's great. They're moving them across country. But at the same time, any group from New York could be headed to LA. Like the possibilities of what are going on in the apocalypse are fantastic because not everyone is dead.
Yeah.
And now it's been enough time where the communities are getting together and they're stronger and they're growing. And like I said, they have solar lights and this and that. And they're doing great things. And that's where the Walking Dead can continue on without Rick Grimes, without Michonne, without Negan. Because there's other stories that can be told. It's up to us, the audience, to be accepting of that. Or to be like, no, if there's no Rick Grimes, there's no Walking Dead.
Oh yeah, no, and I think the show will do just fine without Rick Grimes. I mean, I like the character and I like Andrew Lincoln, and I'll be sad to see him go. Although apparently he's already signed on to direct an episode in season 10, so it's not like he's gone for sure. But
I mean, in the chat said there's a spinoff coming that takes place in Europe. Fine, I'm cool with that.
Yeah,
I'm all for Belfast Sons of Anarchy crossover.
Get some girls with the accent going, and I'll watch it. I'm a sucker for a good accent.
One of the ideas I had in my post-apocalyptic story was that the apocalypse hits and there's people on cruise ship, and most of the people on the cruise ship die, but 5 survive, but they're just floating at sea on a cruise ship. So they have some supplies. They would last a while.
Yeah.
But eventually they'd hit land. Just where?
Yeah.
So
as far as this European spinoff goes, maybe we get Shaun of the Dead going and, an actual, a serious Shaun of the Dead.
That'd be great.
I want Simon Pegg to show up at some point. Nick Frost.
Dude, you can have Sir Paul McCartney in the first episode as a walker. Are you kidding? That's amazing. Dean Judy Dench Walker? Come on. I'm all for it.
I want Royal Guard walkers, in the big black hats, just
beef eaters. Oh, that'd be great. Little nutcracker zombies. Oh, I love it. So, like I said, there's a lot they can do.
Oh yeah, definitely.
If there's 10 years worth of shows, that's fine. It's about telling a compelling story.
And that's the thing, once it gets to the point where the story's just, it's almost like it's going on for the sake of, we just got to keep going. Then it's time to cut your losses. It's like it's jumping. Once it jumps the shark, then you realize it's time to get out.
So there's another new person that I wanted to bring up at the sanctuary. I don't know his name. I'm taking that.
Oh, that kind of sleazy looking guy with the long hair.
With the long hair, who was on Black Sails.
Yeah.
So he used to be a pirate on Black Sails, and which I kind of liked the first season of that, but then
I never got into it.
There was some really great stuff in the first season, and then it just fell off.
That sucks.
But that guy's new, and so the saviors are here to save the world. We are all still Negan. The graffiti on the wall.
Yeah.
The interesting thing about the sanctuary now is that Rick Grimes walked in there like a fucking rock star.
Yeah, seriously, like I was surprised there weren't bras being thrown at him.
Like seriously, there was like Tom Jones level panty throwing adoration,
Yeah.
and that's cool. He ended the war. They're screaming, "We hope Negan's suffering," which he's not. Some people still want Negan dead. He's not. And that's just how it is.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get back to there in a minute. First, we go back to Hilltop for Ken's funeral, and somebody sings a tune. It's great.
Yeah.
Then Gregory stands up and says a bunch of words that are like blah blah blah. You should have voted for me.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, and he was like, it was very eloquent, and then at the same time, it was also very anti-Maggie.
Yeah.
And we've seen a little bit of this in our own country in the news and the division of political aspirations. And let's hope it doesn't get there again to where it is now because it's awful.
Yeah.
And please, if you're listening, all three of you, four, fuck, we're up to four. All four of you, please register to vote.
If you're not already, yes.
I do care who you vote for, but I'm not going to tell you who to vote for. I think you got me figured out.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, we make that pretty obvious what we think.
I don't really hold back on my. Did you see the thing I posted on Facebook today with Arya?
Yes, I saw that a couple days ago. Yeah, that was great.
Arya with Kavanaugh and Lindsey Graham and all the shitheads.
Yeah.
I wish.
Where's the nameless ones when you need them?
I don't know.
Faceless ones.
All right, I'm trying to cover a lot and I'm missing everything, but whatever. So Rick and Daryl have this conversation where Daryl, who's talking a lot, says that he's done with this place. He can't do it.
Yeah, I mean,
be there anymore.
I can't blame him. I mean, he was held captive there for a while, and he's basically running the place that was trying to kill him and all of his friends. I can understand maybe not necessarily wanting to spend all your time there.
It was not easy street.
No, definitely not. But yeah, I mean, it's almost like Daryl kind of got the shit end of the stick. It's like, okay, we're divvying up the locations. You get Sanctuary.
Yeah, right. We have Hilltop. It's beautiful. We have Alexandria, your home. We have the Kingdom where Ezekiel has built paradise, and we have a factory in downtown.
Yeah. They could even give him Oceanside. I mean, come on.
Right, little beachfront property, man, is Daryl. But yeah. Daryl effectively says in this scene here that he's not buying what Rick's cooking anymore, and he's gonna go hang with Maggie because he thinks she's got the right plan.
Yeah,
and her plan would be to dispatch Negan.
Yeah, especially from the way the last season ended, when it was her, Maggie, Daryl, and Jesus, talking basically, almost made it sound like, they wanted to, get together and kill Rick.
Right. So you're looking at that comment? There's nothing wrong with watching the world burn. I'm all for that. But okay, how do I put it? It hasn't been the show we've watching the world burn. We've been very anti people that watch the world burn. We're a community. We're Abed Nadir away from having a study group. So
nice.
So yeah, I don't think that it's just all about watching the world burn. Why not move the saviors? Yes, they should move the saviors. That's what we said. Move them to where the food is. There's farmland everywhere. Like, it's not that hard to find.
Well, I mean, setting up a safe zone, it would take some time, but they've got the people to do it if they want to.
Right, people, resources. You have help. You have the Hilltop. You have everybody helping you. Sure, you can put together something. If you're going to go, hey, Hilltop, why don't you help us, bust out this 40 acres over here so we can build a farm and do that? And Maggie's like, what, like Herschel's farm, you mean? Oh, sure. Yeah, let's do that. So,
well, I don't know. based on Maggie's reaction towards the end of the episode, I don't see that part happening though.
Okay, well maybe not at there, but I'm saying if they would have came to her and said, "You're right, you're producing a ton of food, and we're not giving you shit. Help us build this so we can produce our own food. Then you don't have to give us shit."
Yeah,
and I think that's where Rick is. Or Rick is like, if we help them, they will become self-sufficient. Whereas Maggie's at, we are self-sufficient, so fuck that.
Yeah, it's the whole, teaching a man to fish instead of giving him a fish.
Right. So me, I hate fish. I'd rather have a cow. and that's just the way it is. A butcher would be more handy to me than a fisherman.
I hear you.
All right. So let's see here. So Jeffrey. Joffrey. He's the Joffrey of the hilltop. Jeffrey, I did it again. Gregory puts into motion a little rendezvous for Mags, and he's like, "Hey, I don't know what's going on, but some kids are fucking with Glenn's grave."
Well, not just that, but before that, at the funeral when he came over with the bottle of booze, and he's offered it to the family, and he's like, the husband's like, "Oh yeah, no, you're sober." And then later on the next scene, we see him like feeding this dude alcohol. It's like, dude, you just might as well just throw the guy off the wagon.
What better lackey to do your dirty work than
exactly? Yeah, push him down the 12 steps and then convince him to go kill your leader.
Once a junkie, always a junkie.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that. No, but anyways, before we get to that, Daryl and Carol have a moment. And it's one of these, and again, Daryl talks a lot in this episode.
Yeah.
And we see that Daryl is okay with Ezekiel, but maybe not okay with it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, they've always kind of alluded to that, but we've never ever seen either of the two act on it.
There's always been this unspoken kind of chemistry between Daryl and Carol, and of course we all ship it, but with her finding it in someone else, right there when Ezekiel fell into the pit when he was dangling over the walkers, Daryl's the one that shoots the walker that's trying to bite him.
Yeah,
Daryl doesn't want him around. He just doesn't take the shot, and that's over.
Yeah,
that's get off my woman. So I don't think Daryl's at that. Like, I mean, that's a shitty way to take care of your woman, but what you can do.
Yeah, I mean, Daryl's never seemed the kind of in the show that's looking for any kind of relationship. I think he still sees himself as kind of this loner, even though he's got this group of friends and this big support system. He still kind of sees himself as this outsider. I don't know if he.
Yeah, I get that. I would see there's the speculation that Daryl's gay. There's
there is. I mean,
that Daryl is just asexual. That sex isn't important to him.
Yeah,
and we've seen nothing that would put us in any other way. The closest we got was Beth.
Yeah,
like that could have been a great thing for Daryl, but she had to die. Because if there's happiness, again, they're gonna kill him.
Yeah.
If there's a future of happiness, you're dead. So Ezekiel,
pretty much, yeah.
Sorry, buddy, you're gone.
Yeah,
it's gonna happen. All right, so then we get to Gregory's setup of Maggie, and this does not go Gregory's way. Quite the contrary.
Well, the shitty part is that he set this in motion while she's out walking her son, knowing full well that she was going to go, take the bait. So apparently Gregory had no problems trying to kill her and her kid.
But the use of Glenn is where I was like, oh, dude, dirty pool.
Oh yeah, no, I mean that was a low blow. I mean,
that's low.
Yeah,
there are others. I understand you're trying to be devious, but this is a bad assassination plan. Don't send a drunk to do your stabbings. You gotta send a sober man out to kill people. I'm sorry. Talk them into it when they're drunk, but you got to be sober when you go out there to do the job.
Yeah.
because it doesn't work out. And Maggie, is very capable of defending herself. We've seen it 1,000 times by now.
Oh
And
yeah, yeah. She's plus she ended up having help. Enid showed up, and although Enid did get her head cracked,
we could have done, like I said, he could have pushed Enid head through a spike right there, and we'd have been like, well, there we Enid. Like she doesn't matter.
Yeah. But then there was a couple other people that showed up, and a couple other people showed up, and
Go ahead. Finish your thought.
Yeah, a couple other people showed up, and were able to detain Drunky McDrunkerson, and that seemed to be the end of that whole little altercation. But yeah, I mean,
she's gonna go back and take it to the crib, and when she goes back to confront him, he's like, "Hey, what happened? Oh, this looks horrible. Somebody hit you in the face." Yeah. She's like, "Fuck you, man! You just sent me over there. You knew what was happening."
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Maggie wouldn't put two and two together because Maggie can do fucking math. All right, like it's not that difficult. He wasn't asking her to solve. This wasn't a Scooby-Doo case. Like, you're like, psst, go out behind the woodshed. You'll see something. You go out behind the woodshed. Somebody jumps on you. You're like, you fucking set me up.
Yeah,
like it's not that hard.
Yeah, that was a pretty blatant setup. I mean, and Maggie was right. She's like, look, you didn't even have the balls to try and kill me yourself. She's like, what kind of shitty person, like, you claim to be the leader, but you can't even kill somebody yourself. How are you going to lead these people if you're not able to do your own dirty work?
Is that, do you think that's now a necessity? You bet it's only the fourth time he tried to kill her.
Yeah.
Do you think it's a necessity to be the leader to prove to everyone else that you're capable of killing another human?
I don't think so, but at the same time, you also have to be able to back up what you say, All
right, because let's take the case of Hilltop. We know Maggie kills people. She's done it. She's proven. Have we ever seen Gregory kill anybody?
I don't think so.
And I mean, even in a fight, he's always proven to be a coward and hide or run the other way. So I don't know how far we'd have to go back to find an actual person that Gregory killed. And I think that if you're wanting to show leadership in this kind of society, that's kind of something that you have to be able to show. And not just to indiscriminately just like, I'm just going to kill this guy. You have to kill somebody for a reason and it has to be,
and if I have a feeling that if Gregory had killed anybody, he would have fed them to the saviors. Because Gregory couldn't do it himself.
That's right. He's butt coward.
Yeah.
So, oh God, then the worst scene ever. Rick and Michonne.
Oh yeah.
All right.
I knew that one was going to get on your nerves.
Oh, God, I hate this so much.
Okay. Key point: they decided that they wanted to set up a charter. We can skip on to the next scene.
Yeah, it's not a constitution; it's a charter, and that's a shout out to Carl. So good for Carl.
Yeah.
And he is the famous Rick Grimes.
The famous Rick Grimes
climbs on top of him. Oh, that dirty wrinkled gray pickle. I hate it. Short hair, long hair. I don't care. Get him out. I'm glad he's leaving. I'll be glad when he's gone. Except she's gonna go too. But I'll be glad when he's gone. I'm gonna ship Opie and Michonne.
Yeah. There you go. That'd be a good show.
Oh, I'd watch that. All right. So what happens after this? They're still laying in bed. It's so beautiful.
I think next is the trip to Hilltop.
Oh yeah, I think we're about the end. We're
getting close to the end here.
Where are we time-wise? Yeah, I got about 8 minutes left. Guess that's gonna tell you where we're at. So we are going to go back to Hilltop, and we are going to see the whole gang's gathered out in the foyer, as it were. And Maggie's got a little announcement to make, and that announcement is: here at the Hilltop, the punishment is going to fit the crime.
Well, no, there was the talk with Rick before that, where Rick decided, Rick's asking help
Oh yeah,
building the bridge and helping
see, I'm
bailing
not
out the
there yet.
saviors. Okay.
See, with only 10 minutes to go, we've jumped ahead, and I'm still looking at Gregory just now sending her off to.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. So that all happened at the very end of the episode.
Yeah.
I thought it was much more in the middle, but apparently no. Yeah. So Rick comes by and sees a little baby Herschel, and that's great name, whatever.
Yeah.
Speaking of Herschel, Scott Wilson, who played Herschel, passed away this week.
Yeah.
And that's big hit for the family. So our best wishes to his family and whatnot. We liked Herschel.
He was a good guy.
Nothing
Yeah.
bad to say. Nothing bad to say about Herschel. Could have had more daughters. Hey, his daughters were hot.
True.
More.
He did have some good genes.
Can you imagine how much fun the show would have been if Beth was still alive?
Yeah.
She was hot.
She was.
She was growing up to be a biscuit, and then they just took it away. Like the Rudy Tooty Fresh and Fruity special at IHOP. Just gone. Just gone. You can't even order that shit anymore. It's gone. There's no ad that says, like, if Burger King stopped selling the Whopper, they'd be like, hey, guess what? Fucking no more Whoppers. IHOP, nope. Fresh and Fruity, fuck you, man. You can't have that no more.
Yep. Too bad.
Whatever. All right. Let's just let's do some bold predictions for this season. Something that we know Andrew Lincoln is gone. Give me something that may happen that probably won't.
I'm gonna say Maggie takes him out.
Maggie takes out. Oh, wow, that'd be great. We have to find something for Enid to do. So I'm gonna say Enid forms a love triangle with Anne. And Rosita.
That would be one hell of a triangle.
I'd watch. Yeah, that's what I'm going to go with. Because, like I said, Enid is worthless without Carl. There's really no point to her anymore. So she can go at any moment now.
See, I also think at some point, Jerry's going to realize that he's really in love with Carol, and he's going to take out Ezekiel to try and get in there.
Jerry put Ezekiel's head on a pike.
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, he's got that new makeshift battle axe now. Just be easy to just lop off the king's head.
One. And he's got the access.
Yeah.
All right, that would be a pretty bold prediction. Jerry becomes the new king. I'm okay with King Jerry.
Either that or he's going to open up a shop called Jerry the Cobbler King.
Jerry's homemade cobbler.
I am the king of cobbler.
It would be called Cobbler Time. Cobbler Time with Jerry. He gets his own show on the Food Network. Cobbler Time with Jerry.
That would be amazing if they did like a Walking Dead Food Network special. Jerry making cobbler with actual post-apocalyptic ingredients. Like acorns and shit like that.
We could do a whole show. First, it would be Carl making homemade pudding.
Carol making cookies.
Jerry come out and do cobbler to finish it off.
Yeah,
I like it. We could have a whole cooking show.
That would be awesome.
The walking grill. The Cooking Dead. Even better.
The Cooking Dead. There you go. Yeah.
The Cooking Dead. Yeah. Why not?
Let's pitch it to AMC.
I want to pitch it so bad. This is a sideshow. Just something to throw away, like a half hour. Like after you watch this, watch Comic Book Man, and then watch The Cooking Dead.
Well, no more Comic Book Man, but
is that over?
Yeah, they canceled it.
Oh. Have we heard about Preacher yet?
I haven't heard anything about Preacher.
Me neither. Really worried about that one. Anyway,
we'll see.
So, anyways, Maggie does a big speech. Crime and punishment is going to fit the crime here in Hilltop. And Gregory gets put in a noose and set on horseback.
Yeah.
And the crowd is set to watch a good old-fashioned execution.
And all I could think of at that point was it's about goddamn time somebody killed Gregory.
Everybody's been waiting for this guy to die.
I mean, he should have died a couple times last season.
Oh, here's a bold prediction. Judith will die in the first attempt to kill Rick. I like it. Curb stomp the kid. Just get him out
because I
of
mean,
there.
what are they gonna do with Judith with both of her parents being dead? Is she gonna be raised by Michonne?
She's gonna be the orphan queen. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe she'll hook up with Herschel, little baby Herschel, and
maybe
they can walk off into the sunset holding hands with a monkey.
There you go. Just modify the original plan.
7 minutes. Boy, they really took this thing to the end with the hanging.
Yeah, they did.
But yeah, so they hang Gregory, and he swings around, and it's like a happy day. You want to see like Oompa Loompas dance. I was ready for it. I wanted to just ease on down the road. Like it was great. Unfortunately, a couple kids got out of bed and saw the execution, and poor kids, they're traumatized. Yeah, that's what's gonna fucking traumatize them, not the fucking zombies walking around. Are you kidding?
Yeah, they'd have been more traumatized by the new Philadelphia Flyers mascot than seeing Gregory hang.
No doubt, for sure.
Yeah,
that's a good one. So yeah, Maggie and Daryl gives the horse the ass slap that sends it off on its way. And so I guess he's Maggie's hand of the king, or is he like her ill and pain? I guess he's the executioner.
Yeah, well, I think Jesus is probably like more her hand,
All right. Yeah, I suppose Jesus would be vice president. Jesus.
Yeah.
Los Asesinos das Dios, or whatever it is.
Los Asesinos del Dios, yeah. The assassins of God.
Yeah. The murderers of God, yes. I had to learn that today because I was like, now I got to learn what their fucking patches mean. Great.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's kind of where we get left for this episode, is with the hanging. And I thought it was a good start.
It was definitely, it was definitely an interesting way to start this. I mean, again, this is, we're jumping into a whole brand new storyline. So it's not like we're picking up from where something like left off last season. This is kind of like a fresh start for the show. So, we didn't necessarily need to answer questions of, from last season. It's just like, okay, here's where we are now, and here's the setup for where we're going.
I think we kind of needed to see Negan, actually. I didn't need to talk to him, but I needed to see him. And I didn't like that didn't happen. We have one in the chat here, says he didn't agree with how Rick and Michonne didn't find the hanging as justified. I don't think that was their problem with it.
No,
I think that they found the hanging entirely justified. He flat out tried to kill her. And
yeah, I mean, Michonne's issue was the kids. That was Michonne's big issue, with the kids getting out. Yeah.
Right. But, you can't help that stuff. And again, if these kids are traumatized by the hanging, how'd they get so sheltered through the rest of it? So, not really buying into that. I do see the split where Maggie's going and where Rick's going. And it's two very different destinations. And it's pick a side time.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's like
that's where
one of the things Maggie said when she was talking to Rick is she's like, you said earlier that you were going to follow me. She's like, but you didn't. She's like, so now they're going to start following me. They're going to be left behind. Like she just done laid down the law right there.
And she's more of a boss in like 10 minutes than Rick was in 5 seasons.
Yeah,
and it's so refreshing to see somebody taking charge at Hilltop, and I hope that's where we see that side go is Maggie becoming stronger, more power, and just embracing her new position.
Yeah, I mean, it almost seems like Maggie was born for this position.
I think she was made into this position by what Negan did to Glenn. I think it brought her here.
Yeah. So I mean, you look at Rick and his journey from the beginning of the series. Rick never wanted to be a leader, and it shows. I mean, there are many times that Rick just didn't want to have to make those decisions, but he did because he didn't want anybody else to have to make the hard decisions that he made. Whereas Maggie seems, like, okay, she has accepted this position as leader, and she is, going to do everything she can to keep the hilltop and her people safe.
There's one of the lines that Maggie rips on Rick when they're on the porch is, and I think it's very, very, just a deep, meaningful line. And she said, "It's getting dark. It's time to put the kids to bed."
Yeah.
And she wasn't talking about the kids. I mean, she was talking about the petty little shit. It's got to go. It's time to be a fucking grown up and do the job.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I think that was a great, great line. I think it was really well used, and I think it might have got past a few people. But
yeah,
and it's that's strong.
And so if anybody had any misgivings about her, the way that line, the look on her face and the way she said it to Rick, I mean, that said more than the line itself. I mean,
delivery.
Yeah, I mean, that look on her face was all business.
It was business time.
It's business.
It was a pretty good Gregory hanging from the rafters of the unbuilt house. Very, very close to what it looked like in the comic book. Very, very close, with the crowd watching from below and everything. So,
well, see, I was pissed. So I only watched the first hour last night, and so I was on work. I was on break, and I was flipping through Facebook, and I see something like, "Here's the recap of last night's episode," and the picture was Maggie with a knife to Gregory's throat. I'm like, "Oh, motherfucker!" I'm like, clearly something happened in the last half hour that I haven't seen yet.
Right? When did that go down?
I don't remember that. Oh.
All right, so that's gonna finish us up for this week's episode. We'll be back next Monday night for episode 2.
Yeah.
We're going to see Negan next week, right?
Yeah, well, he was in the preview, so.
We're not going to see the Whisperers yet, I don't think. So, Nicotero was on Talking Dead wearing a Whisperer shirt. So
I saw the ad for it, yeah.
Certainly coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope it doesn't take too long. I think we need... I think we can see where they want us to see the group, and that we're building on the infrastructure and a constitution or a charter, and that's what we're building towards. So now is the perfect time to give them an adversary that is worthy.
Yeah, of course.
And what I think the Whisperers are going to bring is horror, terror. That's what's going to come to them, and far more so than what Negan brought them. And a different kind of fear and a different kind of horror. So, I'm really looking forward to that. It should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it'll be interesting, and especially since I'm now off books, I can't say, "Oh yeah, in the comic books this happened here," but
we don't know. Yeah, so we could catch up, but that wouldn't be fun for anybody.
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna let everybody go. We will see you all next week. Until then, love many, trust few, and do harm to no one. Have a good night.